Hey everybody, it's Dee Slater with Create with Dee, and this is our 8th project of the Winter Crafty Carnival and our 3rd project of today. This is called like a flat storing box. So a store flat fun fold box. When it's put together, it looks like this, and then when you open it up, you can have all sorts of little goodies in there. This is a nice big box that you can see here that you can store or that you could put candy in, of course. It would store cute little jewelry, like I'm all about my bracelets these days, you know, so something, a little jewelry gift, whatever on this. And then what's kind of nice, it's a box and it also has the little note card with it. So when you open this up, you can go ahead and put your, whatever occasion it is, and you can use that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. This kind of has 2 parts to it. One, I'll jump right into making the box. And then secondly, a little reminder on how we can get this faux suede technique on our cardstock. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. Okay, let me go ahead and bring in the measurements. So for this box, again, this is called a store flat fun fold, and I totally cased this from I believe her name is the Honeybee Stamper. And so thank you for sharing such a neat project. I will give her a call out in the comments here. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock. In this case, we're using the soft seafoam cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to need our designer paper, our fancy floor that we've been using all weekend. We're going to need 4 little strips of 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. And for the kind of the note card thing on the top of it, we're going to need a piece of 4.5 by 2 3/4. And then the inside of the card is the white card base so that we can do a little, write our sentiments. 2 by 2.5. Okay. And the paper that I'm using for this one looks like this. So we're going to kind of give a nod to this kind of artistic floral image here in the coral colors. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. In your packet that you got, and I've gone ahead, you will cut your own designer paper. Of course, you can pick whatever color pattern that you want. I've got it pre-scored for you if you got the kit to go. And we're going to do some scoring here together. So here's the template. If you want to make this at home, you can freeze the frame right now and, and then write down these measurements. And I'm going to get out my scoring tool for this one. I'm such a scoring tool, like this is my preferred method of scoring is using this. Okay, so along the 5.5 inch side, we're going to score at 3/4, 1/2 inch, 4 inches, and 4 3/4. Okay, so 3/4, 1.5, 4 inches, and 4 3/4. We're going to turn this so that we have the 8.5 inch side along. And along the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 1.5, 4.5, and 5.5. Now, if you happen to notice, there's these little score marks here in between the edges here. We're going to do some scoring and stop at the score line that we made along the 5.5 inch side. So at 1 inch and at 5 inch, we're going to do that. So in between these 2 score lines here is 1 inch. We're going to do 1 inch and stop. Come down here at 5 inch and do the same thing and stop. And you can go ahead and flip it so that the back side's on here And then we're going to score the other side at 1 inch and at 5 inch. All right, so that's our scoring, okay? So that's what we're gonna be working with. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get this out of here. Okay, I'll bring this back in. All right, so this looks like, and I don't believe there's any cutting to this. Okay, we're just going to do some, I'm gonna get my bone folder and we're gonna just burnish this. It's always good to get nice score lines. I'm kind of gonna go either way on it. I'm gonna go this way. When you're doing 3D projects, it's always good to really break down the fibers of what we're doing here. Okay, let's see here. All right, so this is what we're going to do. This is going to get, we're going to use tear and tape, and this is going to fold down, and we're going to put it like so. Okay, so we'll get some tear and tape and put it on that strip right there. I hope there's enough on this roll. I'm getting down pretty low on this roll of tear and tape. Okay, we'll get this down. And we'll do this. So it looked like there was a lot of scoring on that, and there is, but it's not difficult. And then if we did our scoring right, this is going to line right up. And so we're going to go ahead and just make it happen. Whoops. Get that all the way up. And get a nice crease. Okay, so this is our box, and let me bring this back in. So this is our box, and this is where you can, it's called like a, a store flat. What we're going to do is we can go ahead and decorate this, and until we put adhesive on the ends, you can store it flat. So let me just kind of show you that approach here before we put the ends together. All right, so like we mentioned, going to need some 1/2 inch strips of our designer paper. Again, this is a 1/2 inch by 2 3/4. And I'll get my multi-purpose glue. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in each of these panels here. Okay, so we'll do this. The Crafty Carnival is all about, exploring different ways of using 1 pack of the designer paper and our shimmer paper and our ribbon and our gems that we got. And so that was why we did it as a combination of cards, boxes, bags, and other 3D items besides just cards. That way, whatever type of a paper crafter you are, there was something for everybody here at our Crafty Carnival this weekend. And I'll go back and look at comments and everything afterwards. All right. So we'll decorate those ends, as you can see here. And then this was our piece of designer paper. Look how pretty that is. 4.5 by 2 3/4, and we're going to fold it so that we have this little kind of mini card on it. And in our kit, there's you'll find a white seam binding ribbon. What I would recommend that you do, if you want you put it on the back side of it now so that you can tie the ribbon in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and just anchor this down just with a little bit of tear and tape on the back, right in the center. we'll get that up. Give everybody a nice long piece so that you can be sure to tie your bow. And then we'll put this on to the little area here. Now you could just use designer paper and cover this if you wanted to, but I liked how Honeybee did hers, where she made it an all-in-one little package. So I thought that was really cute to have the little gift tag, so to speak, right as part of the box. Okay. All right, so this is where it's you could do this ahead of time, store it flat. So if you had a party coming up and you want to do these as party favors, you could just stop right here and wait till the end to go ahead and finish it. So that's the fold flat box part of it. All right, let's go ahead and we'll finish putting it together. Alrighty. So on one of the ends here, and I should have put some tear and tape down on this section first, but I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, well, let me show you. Okay, those little 1-inch score marks that we made here, we're going to push those in, and it's will make like a milk carton type of a look. But that's what that did by doing the score mark here. It kind of told the paper where we wanted it to go. And so that's going to be what what the box looks like. All right, let's go ahead and let's glue one end. I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue on that. And we'll pinch it and hold it. So if you had like a little paper clip or something to hold it together to make sure you got good contact, that would be what you would do. And then this is where right before you close up the other end, you put whatever little treat that you want in it. And then you would go ahead and glue the other side and put that in. All right, so that is our little treat box here. Let me go ahead and put down the inside of the card. So again, this is where you could do some extra stamping, write your little note on it, like happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, congratulations on your graduation, whatever that you were going to do on it. And then there's the box. All right, so what I wanted to remind everybody with this one is how to do the faux suede technique. Again, if you look at the flower here, it's soft and it's got a lot of texture on it. I went ahead and punched out the 3 flowers from the Petal Park flower punch, and let's see, do I have that handy? No. It's new in the current catalog. I absolutely love this punch. It punches out these 3 flowers all at once. And what I'm doing is I'm totally squishing these. So squish, squish, squish. We want to break down that fiber on this. Stampin' Up's cardstock is 2-ply. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one of those plies and we're going to separate the 2 plies. And when we do so, we're going to get this really interesting texture. So for those of you that got the kit, when you do this, you'll actually be able to have another set of flowers because we're only going to use 1 on the kit here. Okay, so again, it's like whenever I do this technique, I've done it when I've done home workshops and things like that. People are always like, oh my gosh, you're squishing the paper. But yes, that's what we want to do. All right, so now what we're going to do, once we have that all crinkled and squished, we're going to find a break in the paper and we're going to gently pull this apart. Okay, so I'll do it on one of the flowers and then you would just repeat it with the other 2 flowers. So just go carefully. If you tear one, it's no big deal. That's kind of the look of it. But this is why we crinkle, crinkle, crinkle and squish the flower. because the more you do that, the more it'll separate. Look at the fuzzy goodness on that. So this was an oldie but goodie. This was way back in the day. I had first did this when I discovered Stampin' Up! Probably, 15, 20 years ago. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need to revisit that technique. All right, so you would do that with all 3 flowers. Glue them together. And then, see where your ribbon's at. You could tack the ribbon down with the glue dot and then put your flower over top. Top it off with one of our gems and you're all set. All right. Again, this would be one that you would want to go ahead, and if you use the liquid glue there, you'd want to have this clamped just a little bit just to let that glue set, and then you glue your other end, and then you're ready to go on this box. All right, so again, I just think this is a cool box. It looks intimidating, but really with just a few of our score lines, to do it, don't be intimidated by it, try it. If you did not get the kit to go, what I would recommend is just getting a piece of your basic white cardstock and give it a go. And then once you get comfortable with how you do the partial scores, I'm sure you can just take off and go. All right, I'll be back real soon with our 4th project of the day, and I'll see you soon. Keep leaving those comments so we can draw for prizes. Bye-bye.